What's up, boys? Today I am going to be giving you guys my picks and predictions for UFC 322 Della Maddalena versus Makachev. This fight card's got 14 fights on it, and I am going to start off with the early prelim opener of Vyacheslav Borshev versus Mateus Camilo. To be honest, this is a pretty shit fight. I think both of these fighters have just been looking for a time to get in the cage, and I think this one would have been better left in the apex. But my pick for this one is Mateus Camilo. I think that he is younger and hungrier. I think that Borshev is shit. He is 8-6-1. Couple more losses, he'll be sitting at a nice 500. So that's not too great. I think that uh, Camilo is just probably a little bit bigger, more physical, and um, unless he's a lot worse than I think, he should be able to get this one done. Camilo's coming off of the most recent Dana White looking for a fight, and then he had his debut against Gabe Green where he lost. So both guys looking to start up a win streak, and we'll see if Mateus Camilo can get it done. Next up, we got Bysangur Susurkayev versus Eric Makachev. Um, Susurkayev's coming off of a one of the quickest turnarounds in UFC history. He went from a first round KO on Dana White's Contender Series to a his first ever submission in his UFC debut that next weekend, right after his Dana White Contender Series appearance. He looked human in his debut, um, and I think he won due to his opponent getting an injury, and then he ended up subbing him. But anyway, I think that Susurkayev is going to be good enough to get this one done. Makaniko's an old guy, got knocked out by who was it? Nursultan Ruziboev, and I think that Susurkayev is going to do the same. Um, I got Susurkayev winning by, I think, round two KO. I just think he's a better striker, younger, hungrier. Looks like he's bigger than Makaniko too. I think that Susurkayev is just going to use this as a stepping stone to get his career going, and I think he's just more skilled than Makaniko. And with Makaniko getting chinned against Ruzi Boev, I think that won't be a problem here. I think Susurkayev is going to be able to crack him and put him out in round two. Next up, we got Angela Hill versus Fatima Klein. This is a great opportunity to pick up your phone and play Clash Royale in the middle of the fight card. You might want to peek up though when your elixir's loading because Fatima Klein did get a head kick KO in her last time out. Looks like they've got Klein as a minus 450 favorite, so and I'm gonna go with Klein for like a 29-28 unanimous decision. But yeah, Angela Hill is 18-15, kind of giving me the same vibes as uh, fucking what's his name, Vyacheslav Borshev, Slava Claus. That's a little easier to say. Giving me the same vibe. Their records, they're both almost to 500. Angela Hill is actually below 500 in the UFC. She's 13-15. So to me, I don't see much value in picking her. I think she's gonna get outpointed, out tit for tat. Maybe Klein will rock her a couple times, but yeah, Angela Hill is 40 years old. She's 3 inches shorter than Fatima Klein. I think if Fatima Klein doesn't get this one done, um, then there's quite the problem with her there. So hopefully Fatima Klein can knock her out, but I'm going to go with a unanimous decision for Klein. Next up, we got Chepe Mariscal versus Pat Sabatini. Um, this is actually their second time fighting each other. Chepe Mariscal won their first matchup by split decision. Um, Chepe Mariscal is on quite the run. I think it's a 4 or 5 fight win streak in the UFC. He's coming off of quite a few decision wins, and I'm trying to think who he beat last. But Sabatini, I know, beat Joe Anderson Brito in his last time out, breaking a couple losses, streak of a couple losses, and so they're both looking good. They actually have Sabatini as the favorite here. But I'm going to go with Chepe Mariscal. I'm going to pick him to win by either round two or round three, ground and pound TKO. I think that Sabatini is gonna look to grapple. I don't think he's ever knocked anyone out, so he's gonna be looking for submissions, looking for control time. But I think Chepe Mariscal is just a little too experienced of a grappler for that. I think that maybe I could see Mariscal scrambling, getting to top position, maybe side control, or I doubt he gets mount, but maybe some hammer fists and some elbows from side control. Really start opening up some cuts on Sabatini, and I think the ref's gonna have to stop in and or jump in and stop the fight. But Chepe Mariscal has a pretty crazy record. It's I mean, he's fought good fighters, especially back on the regional scene. Like I said, he's already fought Pat Sabatini. He's fought Joe Anderson Brito, fought Gregor Gillespie. Um, who else did he fight? He fought Bryce Mitchell, and then there's a couple more that he fought on the regional scene. Quite a few of them were losses. Sabatini was one of the wins, and but he's battle tested. I think he's going to be a formidable opponent in the grappling, and I think he's going to continue his streak, stay hot, and kind of out physicality Pat Sabatini here. So Chepe Mariscal is my pick. Next up, we got Gerald Meerschaert versus Kyle Daukaus. GM3 obviously is a hood legend, but I think he's going to lose this one. He's on the downslide. I think he's on a 3-fight losing streak, and Daukaus is coming off a pretty sweet knockout of Michel Pereira. I will say Michel Pereira is one of the more sus fighters when it comes to the UFC betting scandals. I just think it's pretty wild how he can come out and be so dominant and then go out there and look like a fucking idiot against Abus Magomedov and then get sparked by Daukaus in his fight in China. So anyway, back on track with this fight. I think Kyle Daukaus is hungry, coming back for his second stint in the UFC. Great knockout of Michel Pereira, and I think Meerschaert's just kind of washed up. I hate to say it, but if Meerschaert goes ahead and gets a submission in round three, tires him out, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a title run. So I got Daukaus though with a knockout, and yeah, I think that's about all I got for that fight. Next up, a fight I'm really looking forward to. One of my favorite prospects, probably my favorite, Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cody Haddon. I got to watch Malcolm Wellmaker's debut in Kansas City, and his right hand is no joke. He's on a 3-fight win streak with first round KOs with the right hooks. So he's looking for a fourth, a little bit of Walter Walker action, 4 heel hooks. Maybe we'll get 4 right hook KOs from Malcolm Wellmaker. I think that this opponent, though, Cody Haddon, is a little bit tougher than his previous opponents. I mean, you can see here we got minus 145 for Malcolm Wellmaker and then plus 125 for Cody Haddon. So it's a close fight. I just think Malcolm Wellmaker is the real deal. I think that he's going to be able to scramble out and get up, defend some takedowns. We haven't seen that yet, but I'm praying it's there because we need a run from Malcolm Wellmaker here. He's got star power, blue collar worker, 10-0. We just need it. So I'm going to say that he keeps the streak alive, gets a right hook KO on Cody Haddon, and my pick's going to be Wellmaker by a round 2 KO. Next up, we got Tracy Cortez versus Aaron Blanchfield. It's actually crazy because one of my homeboys is dating Tracy Cortez, so he's not going to be at the fights. We're actually going to be watching them together, but I think they are officially a thing now. Anyway, this isn't quite a Clash Royale break, just because I think you want to sit and admire uh, Tracy Cortez, like how beautiful she is. Maybe laugh at her when her fake eyelash is falling off. But all seriousness, this should be a good fight. Um, these guys, these gals have fought before. Tracy Cortez actually won by split decision back in the day. It looks like Erin Blanchfield's 5 years younger. She's the favorite. I just think Blanchfield's gonna win by decision. Pretty boring, like most women's MMA fights. Although the co-main I think should be a pretty damn good fight. But yeah, I don't know if I've got much else to say. Blanchfield's pretty good. She beat Rose, I want to say, lost to Manon for Fioro, who just came off of a knockout of Jasmine Jasudavicius. So she's looking like a good loss for Erin Blanchfield. Um, anyway, I just see a boring decision for Erin Blanchfield. And we'll move on to the next fight, which is RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez versus Roman Kopylov. And I'm going to have to go with Gregory Rodriguez on this one. Some close odds again here. So I might toss this one in my parlay if I was you. Um, but yeah, Gregory Rodriguez, bigger. I think he's going to be more physical. Um, I've got him knocking out Roman Kopylov in round three. TKO probably. Maybe ground and pound, maybe gets him against the fence and just beating his ass. So um, I'd say TKO in round two or round three for Gregory Rodriguez. Kopylov just he didn't look too great his last time out against Paulo Costa. I don't rate Paulo Costa very high. I know Paulo Costa came out, fought well, got back on track, but I just think like Roman Kopylov has his last one before that was Chris Curtis, and are we really saying Chris Curtis is that good? I don't think so. So, long story short, going back to my pick, we got Gregory Rodriguez by TKO. Next up, we got Bo Nickal versus Rodolfo Vieira. Bo Nickal obviously coming off that loss against RDR, which turns out not to be that terrible of a loss. RDR went on to beat Whitaker and quit on the stool against Brendan Allen, but I think we all know that RDR is a valid opponent. The controversy with that fight between Bo Nickal and RDR is that a lot of people are saying Nickal quit, um, which it looked that way. So I think this is a good fight to get Bo Nickal back on track. Rodolfo Vieira is a very good jiu-jitsu specialist, but he lacks a sense of urgency on the feet. Recently hasn't been able to get much done, and I just think that Bo Nickal will be able to out wrestle him and get dominant positions. And when they're on the feet, I think Bo Nickal's gonna be swinging big overhands, maybe landing some good uppercuts. And honestly, I see this as a underwhelming, boring decision, similar to the last time we saw Bo Nickal in MSG against Paul Craig. It'd be sick if Bo Nickal could put him out, get back on track, start looking for other opponents right outside the rankings, but I just don't see it happening. I don't know. He's just not quite as good as we thought he was, and if he hasn't developed in his time off, I just see another boring Paul Craig decision for Bo Nickal. Next up, we got Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis. This is a pretty damn good fight to open up the main card. It looks like BSD is the favorite, and I've seen a lot of people picking him. But for this one, I'm going to have to go with Beneil Dariush. And Benny's going to be my pick because looked good in his last fight against Renato Moicano. Coming off quite the layoff. And I just think Benoit Saint Denis isn't quite as good on the feet as Dariush. And I don't think he's going to be able to out grapple Dariush that much. Just judging off of Dariush's fight with Gamrot, where he was able to win that one. Um, but yeah, they have a common opponent in Renato Moicano. And for you guys who don't remember, Benoit Saint Denis got his ass beat by Renato Moicano, doctor stoppage. His face was falling off of his skull. And so I just think with Beneil Dariush coming back from the knockdown against Renato Moicano and winning that fight, I think even if Benoit Saint Denis comes out shooting takedowns, swinging hard, I think Dariush is going to outpoint him, be able to win a decision here, and send Benoit Saint Denis back to fighting people like Kyle Prepolek. Because that's another reason why I'm picking Dariush, is just the recent wins for Saint Denis have been not great. You got Prepolek, who had a good fight against Drew Dober, don't get me wrong, but he's not on Dariush's level. And then he was able to beat Mauricio Huffy, who looked terrible, and put up very little resistance in the grappling game against BSD. So yeah, I'm going to go with Dariush by decision. Next up, we got Leon Edwards versus Carlos Praches. And for this one, I'm going to go with Carlos Praches. And I'm going to say maybe a late round 2 or a round 3 KO from Praches. I just think Leon Edwards is not as good as we thought he was. Sean Brady was able to out-grapple him and submit him, which obviously Prates is not going to do, but I think that Carlos Prates' experience against Ian Gary, uh, where Gary had the grappling and the striking, was able to keep distance, is going to help out Prates here. I think I would expect Leon Edwards to come out with a similar game plan. It's a 3-round fight. So if he executes like Ian Gary, he could win the decision. But I just see Prates outlanding him, stuffing all the takedowns. And even if it does go to decision, I see Prates winning with the bigger shots, rocking Leon Edwards a couple times, stiffening his legs. If Nate Diaz can rock Leon Edwards, I think Carlos Prates probably puts him away. So quite the fall from grace for Leon Edwards. This will be his 3rd loss in a row if Prates is able to pull it off. But really fun prospect if Prates can, land a big left hook, or if he got like a knee to the body, I think that'd be sick. But should be a really good fight. Step up in competition for Prates, but I think he's up for it. He had a great showing against Jeff Neal last time, so it's time to send Leon Edwards packing, and the nightmare, I think, is here to stay. So Prates by KO. Next up, we got Sean Brady versus Michael Morales, with Sean Brady being the -150 favorite. Brady's on a good win streak. Michael Morales is obviously 18-0, never lost. His last fight against Gilbert Burns got a great knockout, but Gilbert Burns is a shell of himself now, so I don't know how much I rank that. Sean Brady, on the other hand, like I said, coming off that submission of Leon Edwards. And I just think that his loss to Bilal, he's already learned his lessons from that. He's going to be driven from that. Michael Morales is riding high, undefeated. Hasn't really faced adversity, I wouldn't say. Being able to knock out Neil Magny and Gilbert Burns pretty easily. But I think Sean Brady definitely gives him the adversity that he hasn't seen yet, and takes him down, controls him, maybe lands some nice shots on the feet, just with Morales a little nervous for the takedowns. I wouldn't be surprised if Morales is able to, rock him a couple times, but I got Sean Brady controlling him, threatening some submissions, honestly. And if it's on the feet, I mean, Sean Brady's not completely outmatched on the feet either, so should be a really great fight, but I got Sean Brady by decision for that one. In the co-main event, we got a great super fight, honestly. I don't know if a women's fight can be a super fight, but this one, you're going to want to turn your phone off. No Clash Royale being played, because Valentina Shevchenko and Zhang Wei Li are the 1 and 2 in the pound for pound rankings. They've got Valentina Shevchenko as a minus 130 favorite, which is fair, but I'm gonna go with Zhang Wei Li. And actually, one of my other friends is dating Zhang Wei Li, so that's pretty crazy. I've got two connections to this card. One of my homeboys dating Tracy Cortez, and the other dating Zhang Wei Li. So once again, he's not going to be at the fights. You know, I don't think she wanted any distractions, so we're going to be watching it together. But I've got Zhang Wei Li in this one. It's funny because I wanted to say she's younger and she's hungrier, but they're 1 year apart. They've both had a lot of great fights. Shevchenko, arguably one of the GOATs, or arguably the GOAT. I mean, you can't really pass up Nunes, but this is a really good fight. Zhang Weili's got lighter women skills, so we'll see how that pays off for her. But honestly, Shevchenko didn't look great in her fight against Fioro last time out. I think if Fioro was able to land a couple of big shots in one of those rounds, steal a round, it could have been a split decision going her way. But yeah, I just see Zhang Wei Li as a really formidable opponent, and I think Valentina Shevchenko might be declining a little bit. But this is a really close fight. I mean, I think I saw Volk saying to maybe bet a draw here. Not a terrible idea because I don't see anybody, knocking out the other. But I'm going to have to go with Zhang Wei Li by unanimous decision, maybe a split decision if it's really close. But going to move on to the main event, the one we've all been waiting for. Della Maddalena versus Islam Makachev. Makachev obviously going for his second belt. And here we've got the number 2 pound for pound, Islam, versus the number 8, I believe, pound for pound in JDM. JDM looked great in his last fight against Bilal Muhammad. Was able to defend takedowns, scramble out, get up, and beat his ass on the feet. So, I mean, I'm seeing Islam's last couple fights. Renato Moicano, it doesn't mean much to me at all. It was easy. But then what really has me thinking is how difficult it looked against Dustin Poirier. Obviously, he outlanded Poirier in quite a few rounds. Poirier was a little scared of the takedowns, but Poirier was able to cut him, to work him to the 5th round. And I think you're just dealing with a bigger, probably a better, in their states that they fought Islam Makhachev, fighter than Dustin Poirier in JDM. And boxing's going to be there. Like I said, he just got done fighting Bilal, who's got good takedowns, and Islam's going to be better, threaten more submissions, but I think JDM's going to be able to fight those off, to not out scramble him, but scramble, get up, land some big punches, do some damage. I could see Islam getting worn out with this extra weight on him. I mean, he's gonna have good conditioning, but maybe he starts winding down in the later rounds and starts getting pieced up. JDM starts landing some big combos, and I don't know if he can put Islam away, but I see JDM finding at least 3 rounds and getting the decision. That is if they don't have pre-written scorecards for Islam Makhachev, which I wouldn't be surprised. They love these guys. At least we're in New York City. But even then, New York City just got that Muslim mayor, I want to say. So we'll see if the judges are all jacked up and give it to Makhachev. But I see JDM outboxing him. Obviously, Islam Makhachev's strong, great with submissions, but I think JDM just looked so good against Bilal. And I see Islam Makhachev as a pretty similar opponent with probably definitely greater submission threat. But I think Craig Jones and JDM's camp are kind of figuring out a way to handle these Russians, these Dagestanis. And I think JDM's going to be able to get this one back for Volk. and bring it home for Australia. But should be a really great fight. Islam Makachev could take the decision, like I said, even if it's not pre-written, he could get control time. But I see JDM getting up, landing combos, and stopping Islam Makachev from being a double champ. In that case, I'm just looking forward to Islam Makachev Ilya Taporia matchup. I think we all are. So that is it for my picks and predictions for UFC 322. Once again, my main event pick is JDM by decision. But thank you guys for watching. Be sure to maybe hit the like button, subscribe, and tune in for my reaction and breakdown of what goes on this weekend. That'll be coming out maybe Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Shit, I don't know. I'll try to get it out though. Thanks again for watching. I hope you all have a good night.